Welcome to Zaption Tour 7.2, multiplying powers with the same base. There's 7 boxes. The essential understanding here is that you can use a property of exponents to multiply powers with the same base. So let me give you box number 1 here. It's going to be a guess, okay? So what is your best guess? I want 2 to the 3rd multiplied by 2 to the 5th multiplied by 2 to the 8th. What's your best guess? Okay, well, let's see what you got. Well, 2 to the 3rd, that just means 2 times 2 times 2. That's what 2 to the 3rd means. 2 to the 5th means, well, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right, and then, of course, 2 to the 8th is, well, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times a 2 times a 2. Oh my gosh. So how many 2's do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this can be written as 2 to the 16th. I hope you guys got that answer. And I wonder, is there another way that we could get 16? Well, of course there is. If I took this exponent and that exponent and that exponent and I just simply added them up, you should notice that 3 and 5 and 8 make a grand total of 16 with a base of 2 to the 16th. So that's why this works, and that's what we're doing today. So box number 2 is the rule, multiplying powers with the same base. So notice that I'm taking the base of A and raising it to the power of M, and I'm multiplying that with a base of A and raising that to a different power of N. So as long as my bases here are the same, this rule is going to work for us. So the rule says that it is the base with the exponents added together, m plus n. So this is what we really want to understand. So as an example, 3 to the 5th times 3 to the 4th has to be 3 to the 5 plus 4, which of course gives me 3 to the 9th. That's the answer that we're looking for there. 5 squared times 5 to the 4th, well, as long as the bases are the same, then I'm going to get 5 to the 2 plus 4, which gives me a value of 5 to the 6th, and you can leave that there for this moment in time. Let's do some more examples in box number 3. 12 to the 4th multiplied by 12 to the 3rd. This is going to give us 12 to the 4 plus 3. This is going to give us 12 to the 7th. No problem there. Negative 5 to the negative 2 multiplied by negative 5 to the 7. Don't let the negatives fool you here. They are the same base. So that's going to be negative 5 to the negative 2 plus 7, which gives me negative 5 to the 5th. And that's how you would represent your answer. Box number 4 is a U try. Go ahead and multiply negative 3 to the 5th multiplied by negative 3 to the 11th. Hopefully you got the right answer. If not, you should see that negative 3 to the 5th times negative 3 to the 11th is going to give us negative 3 to the power of 5 plus 11, which is going to give us negative 3 all to the power of 16. That should be your correct answer. Box number 5 is all about an example. We're going to simplify an expression involving exponents here. So I have 4x to the 5th multiplied by 9x to the negative 12. Well, I'm going to go ahead and multiply my numbers first. So I have 4 times 9. That's going to give me 36. Then that gives me, then I have an x to the 5th multiplied by an x to the negative 12. So I have a 36, I have an x to the 5th, and I have an x to the negative 12. Well, because my x's share the same base, I can add their exponents. So I get 36x to the 5 plus negative 12, which is going to give me 36 to the negative 7, or excuse me, 36x to the negative 7. But I can't leave it like that because now I have a negative exponent. Well, in the previous lesson, we learned that this is just going to be 36 all divided by x to the 7th power, and that would be the correct way to represent that answer. Let's do this next one over here. We'll do an orange for you. So I'm going to take 2, I'm going to multiply it by 9, and multiply that by 3. All right, so I'm going to do 2 times 3 is going to be 6 times 9 is going to be the 54. Okay, so I'm going to have 54, and then I have b to the 1st right here. That's b to the 1st, multiplied by b to the 4th, multiplied by b squared. So this is going to give me 54 b to the 1 plus 4 plus 2 which gives me 54. B to the 4 plus 1 is 5, 6, 7. So 54b to the 7th. Okay, box number 6 is probably the most tricky of all the boxes in this lesson. We want to take and simplify expressions with rational exponents. That means that the exponents are going to be fractions. Yes, fractions. That's okay. Okay, let me tell you what this means. 84 to the 1/4 power. What this means is what number do you multiply by itself 4 times to get back 81? Now the reason it's 4 times is because it is the denominator of 1/4 here. That's what that means. Okay, so 81 to the 1/4 means what number do you multiply by itself 4 times to get back 81? And the answer is 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So therefore, 81 to the 1/4 is the number 3. That's the answer. Okay, let's take a look at this part B here. 16 to the 1/4. Again, what number do you multiply by itself 4 times, because I have a 1/4, to give you back a 16? Hopefully you realize that that number is 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So therefore, 16 to the 1/4 power gives me an answer of 2. That's the right answer for that one. Okay, let's do C. It says 27 to the 1/3. Well, I'm going to ask myself the same question. What number do I multiply by itself 3 times to get me back the number 27? Hopefully you realize that's the number 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So therefore, 27 to the 1/3 power is the number 3. Okay? Hopefully this is making sense so far. Okay, 64 to the 1/2 power. That means what number do I multiply by itself twice to get me back 64? Well, hopefully you guys realize that that number is just 8. So therefore, 64 to the 1/2 power is the number 8. It's the same exact thing as the square root of 64, by the way. The principal square root anyways. Okay, last one of this one, a tricky one. Ooh, this says 64 to the 3/2 power. Well, it's no longer in the same format as before, as 1/3 and 1/2 and so on and so forth. So what do we do? Does everything still apply the same way? Well, what we want to do is take advantage of the fact that we can break up this fraction like this. We could say that this is 64 to the 1/2 power times 64 to the 1/2 power times 64 to the 1/2 power multiplied together. Well, how can that be? Well, the reason that this is true is because, look, all of these bases are the same. And if the bases are the same, then we could write it down as 64 to the 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. Well, that's just 64 to the 3/2. So these two things are equal to each other. Ah, very cool. And we just found out that 64 in problem D, that 64 to the 1/2 power is the number 8. So therefore, this right here, 64 to the 1/2, is worth an 8. This right here, 64 to the 1/2, is worth an 8. And this right here, 64 to the 1/2, is worth an 8. So really, all I'm multiplying together is 8 times 8 times 8, which I'll save you the troubles, is 512. So therefore, 64 to the 3/2 is worth 512. That's a tough one to do. Okay, and number 7, this is our last example. We want to simplify this monster right here, okay? Well, the first thing that we want to do is we want to multiply all of the numbers that we have together. So I have a 2 times a 3 times a 5. Notice everything is being multiplied together here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to do 2 times 3 times 5. So I'm going to group all of my numbers together. Then I'm going to group all of my x variables together. Oh, I want to pick a different color for you. Orange here. So I'm all my x variables here and have an x variable there. So this is going to be x to the 2/3 plus 1/3. Okay, I can take advantage of that rule that we just learned. And then in purple, I've got y to the 1/4 and y to the 1/2. So multiply this by y to the 1/4 plus 1/2. And then we're going to simplify all back together. So 2 times 3 is 6 times 5 is 30. So that's going to be 30. X to the 2/3 plus 1/3 is x to the 3/3, or just the number x, because 2/3 plus 1/3 make 3/3, so that's just the number x. So we don't have to worry about that one. Okay, then 1/4 plus 1/2, so 25 cents plus 50 cents makes 75 cents. So that's going to be y to the 3/4 power, because that's 75 cents, right, in terms of money. So the answer is 30xy to the 3/4 power.